Hi, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited because you guys know I love talking about travel. Oh my goodness, if I could only retire from my job and travel full time, I would. So this week we're going to be talking about 10 places that you should visit your first time in New York. Now, I'm going to say this. Even if it's not your first time in New York, it's still good to visit these places over and over again anyway. So let's jump right on it. And they're in no specific order. Number one, Fifth Avenue. So you will walk many times through the Fifth Avenue on your trip to New York. But it is recommended that you stop, walk it, and enjoy it, especially if you like shopping. Besides, on Fifth Avenue, you'll find iconic places in New York such as St. Patrick's Church, Rockefeller Center, Hotel Plaza, New York Public Library, and the Empire State Building, amongst other things. Number two, 9/11 Memorial. So in this place where the Twin Towers before the terrorist attack of 9/11, let me back up. The 9/11 Memorial, as we know, is where the Twin Towers stood prior to the terrorist attacks on 9/11. And it's a commemorative monument to the people who lost their lives in that tragedy. This is a nostalgic place, but at the same time, it's peaceful and a place of reconciliation. Being there, you can also visit the financial district and Wall Street, and it's recommended that you go to Battery Park and see the sunset. And that definitely sounds beautiful. Number three, Museum of Natural History. If you only have a few days in New York and you can only visit one museum, this is a museum that you want to visit. It's a wonderful place filled with history, and you should take at least half a day to visit this particular museum because it's a very large museum, so you do want to give yourself time to see everything. Number four, Highline Park. The park is pretty new. The first section opened to the public in 2009, and the last section opened by the end of 2014. The highlight was constructed by 1930 to connect the industrial part of the city with the port by train, but with automobile revolution, it was abandoned by the 1970s until, and the end of the 1990s, a couple of neighbors sent the proposal to build the park that's there. So the old train tracks melt together with nature and concrete to give life to the monument of modern agriculture. This is also a place that you should not miss. Number five, Grand Central Station. How many movies have we seen with scenes in Grand Central Station? And they're just too many to try to name. So this is a familiar place to anyone who has lived under the Hollywood influence, and as much as you have seen it on TV or in the theaters, nothing compares when you enter the high ceilings garnished with the stars, constellations, and topped in the center with the clock ticket center. Number six, Brooklyn Bridge. This is one of it's a favorite spot of many visitors to New York, and one of the most famous ones. It was built between 1870 and 1883, and at that time was the largest bridge in the world. After crossing it on the Brooklyn side, you should enjoy the Brooklyn Bridge Park and eat something in one of the iconic places in Dumbo. If you have to go back to Manhattan, you should take the water taxi, which will take you to 34th Street by the East River for $4 and would offer you a different take on the city. Number seven, Times Square. Because we all see Times Square every New Year's Eve, right? Hundreds of lighted advertising posters, Broadway theaters, and thousands of people walking here and there has made Times Square one of the biggest icons of New York City. Here you will find most of the Broadway theaters, and if it's your first time, you should come at night so you can experience the place to the utmost. And I'm going to tell you something. This is something on my list of things to do that I would love to do, and that's to go see Times Square. But I probably would never go during New Year's Eve because there's just too many people, and I'm not really a crowd person. So, number eight, Central Park. It's without any doubt the most famous urban park in the world and one of the most visited ones with more than 25 million visitors per year. It's twice the size of Monaco, and it was inaugurated in 1873 as a green place for the New York citizens and still is the biggest recreational place for New Yorkers. Number 9, the Statue of Liberty. It is with the Empire State Building and the most iconic monument of New York City. Liberty illuminating the world was a gift from the French, in case you didn't know that, in 1886 to commemorate the centenary of the Independence Day and as a sign of friendship between the two nations. It is a sculpture of the French artist Frederic Auguste Bartoli and designed by the engineer Gustave Eiffel. I don't know how you pronounce that. Eiffel. Eiffel. To visit it, you must take the ferry in Battery Park, or you have to have a tight budget. Or if you have a tight budget, you should take the ferry to Staten Island that is completely free and goes by close enough that you can get to it without having to walk too far. Number 10, last but not least, in the Empire State Building. One of the modern world wonders. The Empire State Building was the tallest building of the world from 1931 to 1972, and its name comes from the nickname of the state of New York. One of the most shocking views of the city comes from the top of this great structure. So, again, if you are going to New York for the first time, or if you're going back to New York for the first time in a long time, these are some suggestions of places that you should visit. Let me run them down one more time, and I promise I'll let you be. Number 1, Fifth Avenue. Number 2, 9/11 Memorial. Number 3, Museum of Natural History. Number 4, Highline Park. Number 5, Grand Central Station. Number 6, Brooklyn Bridge. Number 7, Times Square. Number 8, Central Park. Number 9, Statue of Liberty. And number 10, the Empire State Building. Now, as you know, Michelle is making it happen. And Michelle wears many hats. And one of those hats happens to be a travel agent. So, I would suggest that if you're interested in booking a trip, and you know what, the holidays is it's a really, really good time to go to New York. So you may want to think about doing something different this Thanksgiving and Christmas season. Book your trip to go to New York. You can go and just stay for the weekend, or you can extend your weekend and do maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back on Sunday kind of thing. Either way, be sure to reach out to me and let's get your trip booked to New York so you can see all of these wonderful, wonderful, excuse me, guys. So these wonderful, wonderful sights. Like I said, I've only had the pleasure of visiting New York once. And I didn't really get to see a lot because we didn't have a whole lot of time there. So that's definitely on my list of some places that I want to visit. In fact, I'm trying to get my mom, you guys, to get her, because she teaches senior fitness classes both at my church as well as in senior assisted living facilities. And I'm trying, for those that can travel, I'm trying to get her to put together a trip to New York. So if I can convince her to do that, then I will certainly let you know about that. So thank you so much to my newest subscribers. Thank you so much to those of you that continue to support me every week. I love you guys to the moon and back, and you know I mean that, because I don't use the word love loosely at all. So until next week, when I take you on another adventure somewhere else, I want you all to live life to the fullest, you guys. Live life to the fullest. Get out there and travel. And before I forget, if you're going to be doing any traveling this holiday season, first of all, let me tell you something. You're a little late, because you should have started planning that travel last month, if not in August. So if you're doing any travel for the holiday season, I would encourage you guys to get started now. Don't wait until the end of the month. Do not wait until the beginning of November, because then the prices of things start to go up the closer you get to your travel date. That's hotels, that's transportation, that's just a whole bunch of things. So do not wait till the last minute. Start now to plan your holiday vacations. And you know, you can always reach out to me. My website is First Class Travel Service, and I'll put that in the description box. You can always reach out to me, email me, and let's get your travel plans together. Until next week, I love you all. Keep reaching for the stars, and again, keep being your authentic self. We'll talk again soon.